Welcome to another episode on the Hoops Crew YouTube channel. My name is Jake, here with a rapid reaction to the news that everyone's been waiting for, and that is that star cat Max Holmes has signed on at the Cats a 4-year extension that should take him through until at least the end of 2028 at the Cattery. This news, of course, confirmed on the club's website. You've got it right there. Geelong is Holmes. Clever. Max Holmes signs on for 4 more years. Locked away his future as a Cat, pending a 4-year contract extension with the club. 21-year-old has signed a deal that will take him through until at least the end of 2028. After making his debut in round 3, 2021, Holmes has established himself as regular in Geelong's team, playing 27 of the last 29 games for the Cats. And of course, we don't need to read that to know that Max Holmes has fast become one of the most crucial players in Geelong's lineup. You only have to have a look at what he's done this season after changing position. I mean, we always knew, I think, on the Hoops Crew, the Geelong fan base in general, that Max Holmes was very, very special. Obviously, he's drawn special comparisons to special players in the past, Chris Judd being one among them. We've always known that he has the capacity to be an extremely special player. And he's really proved that in spades this season since making that that player, the positional move down back. If we just have a look at some of his stats here this season, he's up to 23.2 disposals per game. That's up from 16.4 on his career average. He's up to 13.2 kicks per game, up from 9.2. Handballs is up. His marks up from 3.4 to 5.8. The meters gained, this here, for me, is one of the areas I think that shows his value to Geelong's side, and especially after this positional change for him further down back. He's gone from averaging 321.9 meters gained, which was above average, to an elite 572.9 meters gained per game. The reason why that is so important, and why we have felt it's so important on the Hoops Crew, on the Chaps Chat Cats, where we've talked about it a lot with Samo and Johnny, is that the retirement of Isaac Smith sort of got lost in the shuffle after Joel Selwood's retirement. And you understand it, of course, that a player that's meant so much to the Cats as Selwood was always going to take up all the oxygen in the room in terms of how we felt as he ended his career. But lost in that was the impact that Isaac Smith made in that handful of seasons for the Cats when he skipped over from the old foe, the Hawks. I think you felt his absence really keenly last season. And Max Holmes has stepped up in a major way to fill that void. We now have that player that can dash and deliver off halfback. We've now got that player who can grab the ball off someone else just outside 50 and off a step launch a goal from 55, 60 meters out. He is an absolute game breaker for the Cats, especially now that he's healthy after that injury he suffered in 2022. His ability to just look at an opponent, handball it to his own advantage, and then just run past them, or just with ball in hand, just, burn past an AFL level opponent is absolutely top level. Like, you talk about statistical gradings in terms of the numbers, must be in the top 5% of players. I don't know. I'm just pulling this off the top of my head, but he has to be in that sort of rarefied air in terms of his just genuine, explosive top end pace where no one can catch him. No one can keep up with him. So whether it's down the wing, off half back, through the middle, as he joins in a 4A forward, He's just an absolute weapon for the Cats, and you can add in his long range kicking, which at its best is absolutely, just has the ability to scythe through an opponent's defense. Um, he's just a massive player, and this is massive news for the Cats. We've had this sort of trickle of contract signings across the season, and obviously we went into the year. There were so many contracts that were ending at the end of this season, that were ending at the end of next year, and there's been question marks. So who will be retained? How will the form this season dictate who's retained, et cetera, et cetera? Can we, keep winning in order to retain our best talent, our best young talent, as other clubs try and poach them away from us? There was lots of talk about Collingwood, you know, circling for Max Holmes. This is such a massive tick for the Cats. Obviously, the 6-0 start, um, and the way in which young players have featured in that start. You think about your Zach Guthrie's and your Ollie Henrys, Tyson Stengel, Ollie Dempsey. You can go on and on and on about the different young players who have helped impact this 6-0 start for the Cats. And the fact now that we're getting the biggest names among them re-signing is just huge. It's huge for this season. Cat's mind, he can just focus on tearing it up on the footy field. And we now go into the next 3-4 seasons with Max Holmes. We don't even have to think about whether he's a Cat or not. It's locked away. It's done. The race has been run. The rivals were seen off. No one's getting that signature. Geelong got it again. And I think it's a massive tick. It's a massive testament to Geelong and what they've built over the best part of the last 20 years, that we remain such an attractive place for players to play. And we're able to not only go and poach away talent from other places, but we're able to retain the ones that we grow out of the draft. So this is huge news, and it deserved an instant reaction. Would love to know what your thoughts are on Max Holmes signing on down in the comments. I'm sure you're just as excited as we all are here. It's been a lingering thing on the show. We do a Wednesday news wrap for our Patreon subscribers every Wednesday. There's a plot twist for you, the Wednesday news wrap. And every week we've had a segment called Contract Watch. And every week we say, oh, any smoke out of the chimney down at Cardinia Park yet for a Max Holmes deal? No, we just cross our fingers for another week. It's going to be so good to record that tomorrow and just say, hey, here's the deal. He's signed on. He is a Cat. He's a Cat until at least the end of 2028. And let's be honest, I think I'm pretty confident that a player like Max Holmes will be that's big talk with him, because he's going to hit age 25, age 26 in the prime of his career, and he's going to get another deal. So it's probably a perfect world for him financially too. It's going to take him through to his mid to late 20s. He's going to get to negotiate another deal, negotiate another extension. But yeah, I couldn't be happier personally as a Cats fan. I'm a massive fan of Max Holmes. So this is just a glorious, glorious way to spend a Tuesday evening, reveling in the fact that we're 6-0 and we've just locked up a player who I think, pound for pound, skill for skill, might be our most talented and exciting player on the list. I think there's an argument that Max Holmes is that player. He's easily in the top 5. We've locked him up for another 4 seasons at minimum. So good news. Great reason to celebrate. Hope you are having a ripper start to your week. Let us know what you think about the Max Holmes contract in the comments, and we'll be back in your ear holes and eyeballs soon here on the Hoops Crew. Until next time, go Cats.